Hello friends, and welcome to another video. This is my little insert to the 5 element theory series that I'm doing. I just had an insight and I want to share it since I'm sharing about the 5 elements. So I'm going to start out with a little review and then share the insight that I had. And I'll be using a laser pointer because this lighting isn't the best. Okay, so we started with the wood tribe. And this laser pointer is kind of almost useless because you can't really see it too good, but the wood tribe have birth years that end in 4 and 5. Okay? So that represents infancy. Their sound is shouting, and they represent air. Their element is air and their planet is Jupiter. The next one is the fire tribe, which is here, the red one. The fire tribe represents childhood, and the birth years end in a 6 or a 7. Their sound is laughter, and their planet is Mars. The next one is the earth tribe. The earth tribe, which I'm going to be uploading that video at the same time as this one. And the earth tribe have birth years that end in 8 and 9, and their sound is song like singing songs, and their element is earth. So the next one, that these last two I haven't posted the videos for yet, but I'm just going to go ahead and say the things here anyway since I'm saying everything. This is the metal tribe, the mineral tribe, the mineral kingdom, and their birth years end in a 0 or a 1, and they represent the elders. And their sound is grief. Grief is their emotion. And the last one is the water tribe, which oh yeah, and also the mineral kingdom represents Saturn, or Saturn represents the mineral kingdom. Everything that's hard. So the next one up is, the last one is the water tribe. And the water tribe have birthdays that end in a 2 or 3. And their gesture, or their sound, their emotion is sadness. And they represent the moon. This is the moon up here. And they also, well, I think that's all I shared about the other one, so I'll just keep it at that. What else can I say just from looking at this? The water tribe is the most feminine of them all. She's at the top, and she's kind of the mother of them all in a way, and she represents death. So she represents the in-between phases. I haven't done the water tribe video yet. I think it's going to be, it changes all the time in my mind how I'm going to record it, so I'm excited about that. That's the most feminine, and this is the most masculine, the red one here, which is the fire tribe. That's the most masculine one. The rest of them, I have my own opinion about. I think that this one, the green one over here, is probably the second most masculine one, and the yellow one over here is probably the second most feminine one, and the white one over here is pretty neutral. It's pretty neutral. The mineral kingdom, they're not necessarily overly masculine or overly feminine. I've seen very feminine metal tribe people because they have a lot of refinement in their personality. So that video will be coming up. So that was the review, and then I also, so I'm going to share the insight that I had this evening. The insight is going to require you to understand the basic premise that the person before your tribe is your parent. That's your parent tribe. So say over here we have the mineral kingdom. Who is the parent of the mineral kingdom? This goes in a clockwise clockwise circle, which you're going to see in the Earth Tribe video, which I'm showing. Tomorrow I'm going to be posting that. But everything flows into the other thing. So we start over here at wood, that's infancy, that's the parent, that gives birth to the child. Over here in the fire tribe, that's the child, and that gives birth to the adult. Okay, the adult comes from the child, and the adult gives birth to the elder. The elder comes from the adult, and the death here, which some people would consider to be heaven, just because it's the interim, it's the in-between phase, came from the metal tribe, because when you die, then this is your tribe over here. So the big epiphany that I had today, which was really good, is that all of these people have a parent tribe. And so what I want to talk about is the importance of the parent tribe. Okay, I'll use myself as an example because that's the best way that I can go. That's the best way that I can really make it comprehensive and have it make sense. So I'm just going to talk about my own tribe, and anyone who's from the wood tribe, this is going to apply to you if your birth year is a 4 or 5, okay? So our parent tribe is the water tribe, okay? This is the water tribe here. Now, today I had a meditation on the water tribe, and what I realized is that your parent tribe is really your home. It's your home. It's where you feel the most confident, the most comfortable, and the most safe. It represents your parents. It's your parent tribe. And the reason I think, and don't ask me why I know this or anything, because I can't tell you exactly, it's kind of esoteric, but the reason that I believe this, well, I can't tell you why I believe it, but I think that the parent tribe is the most familiar tribe to the individual because the individual lived in that tribe in their last life. So even though in this life I am wood tribe, my birth year ends in a 5, my last life ended in a 2 or 3. So my last birth, when I was born before, in my last lifetime, I was a part of the water tribe. So the water tribe is very familiar to me now. You see what I'm saying? It's like your parents' house, you know? You're totally familiar with your parents' house. You just kick off your shoes and you leave them on the floor, and you don't really worry about it too much. You're comfortable, you're relaxed. Your parents' home can be very stimulating if you're lucky. You can have a lot of community gatherings and a lot of learning going on at your parents' home. So the water tribe for me represents home, it represents comfort, and so I feel kind of lucky because the water tribe in general represents that, and I haven't gotten into that yet either, so I'm sorry to be jumping the gun. But the water tribe does represent creature comforts and nurturing and healing powers, and the powers of care and friendship and love, all the feminine things basically. Compassion, empathy, those are things that the water tribe represent. So if you're from any of the other tribes, I highly recommend that you pay attention not only to your own birth tribe, but also to your parent tribe, because that is where you will find your solace. And I'm saying that with the awareness that parents and children don't always get along perfectly, and that it can be tumultuous at times, and there can be a bit of a power struggle between parents and children. This is a fact. However, it's not really about the power struggle or the relationship. It's really about you as an individual having lived a life previous to this one, if you can imagine such a thing, and having accumulated a lot of karma while you were living in that other tribe, so that when you come back to the earth, you're born into the next tribe in front of it, and it goes in that trajectory. So it goes clockwise, the way that I showed it. It goes clockwise around like that. So each birth, so say that your earth tribe, for example, in this life, in your next life, you're going to be metal tribe. You're going to be an elder. Even if you're a little kid, you're just born into that. That's your tribe. And then you die, right? And if you're an elder, then you're born again into the water tribe. Okay? And then the water tribe people die, and then they're born again. They're born into the wood tribe. And then the wood tribe people have their end of their life, and they go to heaven for 500 years. Heaven is much longer than earth. We're only on the earth for 100 years at the most usually, but we spend 500 years in between lives up in heaven. So anyone who says, oh yeah, I think that this person is the incarnation of someone who just died 100 years ago, that's impossible. It's not compact, and it's not a small. Reincarnation is a very it's a long process. It takes time to first of all come to terms with everything that happened in your past life, the life that you just had. After you die, you come to terms with all of that in heaven, and then you move on through the clarity and through the insight that you achieved from that life, and you move on to start gathering forces up for your next life. And it takes a long time to build that. It takes a long time to build the forces. It takes a long time for the heavenly spirits up in heaven to forage for you a path and a body and a soul and parents and everything. It's no joke. So no, people do not reincarnate in 5 years or something. It takes 500 years. So all the people who are here right now in the wood tribe, 500, when they reach the end of their lives, they're going to go to heaven, and then in 500 years they'll come back as the fire tribe. This is a very esoteric concept, and it's something that I have discovered on my own. And I really strongly believe in this. I'm not, a metaphysician. I can't see if this is really true. I haven't researched it, but this is my personal belief, and it seems to be true to me. So, whether you get along with your parent or not doesn't matter. Their home is your home. Okay? So if you're Earth tribe, for example, since I'm over here, your home is the fire tribe turf. The fire tribe should be very comforting and should be very comfortable for the Earth tribe, and it usually is. These relationships, these parent-child relationships, which are the people who are right next to you. The people who are right next to you on this chart. This is the parent-child relationships. That's why I have this up here. Just to remind myself and to send a subliminal message to all the people in the world that this is where the healing is. These relationships between parents and children is where it's at. Okay? Whether you're the child or the parent doesn't matter. These parent-child relationships are very heavily karmic, and they have a lot of goods to offer. But you do have to have patience, and you have to, think about the relationships that you have with your parents. You know that your parents are good for you, and you know that your parents bless you. And they also have a tendency to want to control your decisions and things like that. So that's what all of these relationships represent. You're dealing with an oppressive force. When I deal with the water tribe, I'm dealing with a force that is oftentimes oppressive. So I have to assert myself and say, you know what? I'm an adult. I'm not going to take any oppressive, I'm not going to take that kind of direction from anybody. So that's why this 5 element chart can help you a lot. Now these relationships that go across like this, like for example, the Metal Kingdom and the Wood Tribe, these going across like that, those are grandparent relationships, which I have already mentioned in a video and I'm going to keep talking about. The grandparent relationships can be extremely beneficial. They can be extremely prosperous, and they can also be extremely damaging to people if they're not handled with care. There's a lot of affection and a lot of love between grandparents and grandchildren. So you could even go this way: water tribe and earth tribe, water tribe and fire tribe and metal tribe, earth tribe and wood tribe. All these going across the street like that and just passing up, bypassing the parents and just going directly across Well, for one thing, you don't have the protection of the parents at that point. The parents are very important to this whole system, because grandparents can easily exploit the youth, and the youth can easily exploit the grandparents as well. So that's why I emphasize in the videos that grand relationships are secondary in importance to the parent-child relationships. The parent-child relationships are the most important. In our society today, unfortunately, our society is governed by people who practice a religion that has to do with the pentagram. And this is all water tribe stuff too, but I'm just gonna introduce the ideas now. The pentagram is the going across. Okay. This pentagram, this makes a 5-pointed star, right? Going across like this. And it's very sharp, it's very pointy, and it's dangerous. And people can be wrecked by that. Or if it's done compassionately with a lot of love and a lot of almost even sacrifice, then it can be some of the most prosperous relationships that have ever existed in life. It's kind of the fast track, it's kind of like bypassing the parent and going to the grandparent, or bypassing the child and going to the grandchild. Personally, I grew up in a home that was 100% that way. I didn't have any people in my home who were next to me, right? Because I'm over here. I'm wood tribe. I didn't have anybody here in the water tribe, right? I didn't have that. And I didn't have anybody here in the fire tribe. Because the world today is built on the pentagram. It's all pushing us towards the pentagram. It's all pushing us to be overly ambitious and want things too quickly. And all of that has to do with the pentagram. Because you can achieve anything with your grandparents, and you can achieve anything with your grandchildren. So some people get hooked on that and get addicted to that. And they're not really interested in parent-child relationships anymore. And that can become really unwholesome, as you can see in society a lot. Where you have very young people and very much older people having romantic relationships and stuff like that. So, your parent tribe is a comfortable place, and your grandparent tribe can be even more comfortable than that if the grandparent is competing with the parent. Okay, and I have children, so I know about this, and also I was a child and had that same experience in my home, where I had a grandmother and a mother who were both kind of in a tug of war for influence over the children's lives. And the influence belongs to the parent. It belongs to the mother. It's ordained from heaven that the mother have the influence over the children. So again, I feel like I have to keep mentioning the disclaimer that I'm not trying to demonize anyone or demonize anyone's relationships, because I've seen every kind of relationship work out. I've seen so many different ways of relating to one another that I can't personally achieve. I tried dating across the street. I've tried having friends and relationships that were across from me, but because of my upbringing and because that was all I had in my youth, it seems like all that I should have now are people who are on my own side of the street. So here I am over here, wood tribe. So I can kick it with them, and I can kick it with the water tribe real good, and I can kick it with the fire tribe real good. But when I start going across like this and like this, it causes stress. It causes stress, and it causes one of the people to have to take losses